we have our 16th president to deliver his speech, and this will be something to remember as we mark the day of our 50th anniversary Golden Jubilee. Ladies and gentlemen, help me welcome our President, Mr. Mario Sendanya Panoringan, deliver his speech.
Thank you. Let's give a big hand to Mr. De Villas. Thank you. Please don't forget to turn on your cell phones after my speech. Before I begin, let me just acknowledge, and you know who you are. Everybody from the Executive Committee, please stand up. Members of the Executive Committee, you know who you are. For the last many weeks, days, thousands of hours and phone calls, you have sacrificed your life away from family, from your home, because we want this 50th Golden Jubilee, a very special one, in the presence of our distinguished guests, friends, and relatives. Please stand up, everybody from the Executive Committee. You know who you are. And certainly, special mention to the Executive Chairman, Mr. De Villas, Executive Vice Chair, Ernesto Abalos, and all the past presidents and first ladies who co-chaired this momentous event that we are celebrating tonight. I thank you all for all the hard work you have done for our distinguished guests, friends, and relatives. Thank you. Please sit down. A very special thanks. A very special thanks. If you like what you see, on your tables, if you like what you see around this beautiful ballroom, this is a gift from my niece, Grace Cantelio Sico, and her husband, Joseph. The decorations that you see, the golden candelabra that you see, is her gift to the United Pangasinanes of America. I don't think that she's with us. I think they arrived. Joe, where's Joe and Grace? Please stand up to be recognized. Joseph, and that's my lovely niece, Grace. Thank you for the grace that you have given us. We are so thankful and so grateful. And now, if you would please lend me your ears for the next 2 hours. I'm just kidding. This is something that I really feel that would give a lasting memory, since we are celebrating our golden anniversary. Deputy Consul General Jaime Ascalon, the Honorable Tom Torlakson, State Superintendent for the great state of California, distinguished guests, friends, ladies and gentlemen. Help me out, help me out. Shh. Thank you. Thank you. We really appreciate it. I do. Tonight's celebration, which I am honored to deliver my speech honoring our past and creating our future, culminates the long process of celebrating our much awaited and historic 50th Golden Jubilee. This after taking my oath of office as the 16th President of the United Pangasinanes of America at the Pangasinan Center, the first time ever in the history of our UPA. Indeed, 50 years is a major milestone for an institution as it is for an individual. And tonight's celebration is not much of a festivity, but an occasion to pause and reflect at the 50-year journey and to look forward in creating our future. A moment to look ahead at the high mountains we still must climb and the deep oceans we still must swim. This evening, we pay homage to the Founding Fathers as in the coming weeks and months before this golden year is over, we will continue to reflect on how faithful we have been and true to their visions and ideals. We salute men like Roy Arceliano and women like Sonia Dagdagan, Ramon and Lourdes Astria, Ray and Felicidad Cabanela, Lily Reyes, Ignacio and Digna Gonzalez, Baldomero de Castro, Luis and Lydia Caragan Sr., and of course, Conrado and Colomba Lopez. All these dedicated pioneers I've known and worked with, which when I joined UPA at my young age in 1970. Yes, indeed, I am the longest living member of UPA today. Thank you. It was them pioneering our modest beginning, a handful of proud Pangasinenses determined of banding together with a common goal, a modest but very important beginning of founding the great United Pangasinanes of America. We salute men such as John Bamont and Dick Gornot, whose names will forever be remembered as the original signatories of what now stands at 5028-5030 Mission Street in San Francisco, our own United Pangasinanes of America building. And Mrs. Gornot, if you would please rise, Mrs. Luisa Gornot, I know where you are, will you please stand up? Thank you, Mrs. Gornot. Thank you, Manong Dek. We salute all the men and women, past and present, who have contributed to UPA, to my illustrious predecessors, 5 of whom we honored tonight, joining our equally illustrious predecessors, Al Aningalan and Sosimo Dibias, in our Hall of Honors we call the Princess of Urdoha Award. And yes, to a unique and special group of women, our first ladies, 7, make it 8, including my wife, 8 living first ladies who have continuously given the support to UPA. We salute you. To our officers, directors, and members who have loyally served UPA over the years, some are no longer with us, and I invite each and every one of you to join me in remembering all of them. When the United Pangasinanes of America was founded, much of it was from a humble beginning with high hopes and aspirations. In the following years, those aspirations were often challenged by economic decline, but those aspirations never died. Our men and women of goodwill and resilience were determined to prevail. So as we look back as to whether we have been true and faithful to the dreams of our founding fathers, we can say with pride, I repeat, my fellow Pangasinenses, we can say with pride that we have played our part. The United Pangasinanes was able to remain a dynamic institution in a fast-changing economy and environment. Some of the decisions needed for this dynamism were not, of course, without their challenges at the time. In the end, intelligent minds, reasons, and unanimity ruled the day, a cherished trademark of UPA. Our network of friends at UPA grew over the years through our town and city affiliation program, and today we have 24 towns and cities of Pangasinan affiliated with perhaps one of the best and largest Filipino organizations in California, if not the whole United States. So much with our glorious past. Now let's look ahead in our next 50 years. And in looking ahead, I dreamt and envisioned that in the next 10, 20, 30, 40, and 50 years, every mountain we must still climb will be lower, and every ocean we still must swim will be shallow. We have come a great distance in this country in the last 50 years, but we still have a great distance to go before we can say, yes, we belong. And indeed, I am reminded by one of the most revered lines by the great Martin Luther King Jr.'s speech, I have a dream. And I quote, we must never give up. We must never give up, unquote. We all have a dreams, and I too have a dream, and I believe when a dream is nurtured, captured, and communicated with others, with an invitation to them to embrace it, it becomes a vision. I invite all of you to step up to the plate and dream with me in the next few minutes as we look ahead of creating our future. I dreamt that our children and their children's children will become the leaders of our organization. I will not be surprised if a Hunter Padilla or an Anne-Marie Panoringan will become a president someday of UPA. And I dream that in the next years ahead, ladies and gentlemen, we will have our first woman president in the UPA. I dream that in the next 50 years, UPA would have graduated not only hundreds of scholars, but in the thousands. And I dream that UPA will continue its outpouring of love and concern in helping our fellow Pangasinenses and the Filipino people back home in times of other needs, especially those affected by the wrath of nature. Keep dreaming with me, my friends, my fellow Pangasinenses. Keep dreaming with me and envision that someday our 3-story building will become 5 stories. The first floor will house our state-of-the-art Pangasinan Center. The second floor will be business offices. The third floor, ladies and gentlemen, will be an affordable housing for our UP seniors, and our 4th and 5th floor will be rental units who will keep us afloat in our financial condition. How fitting it is that during my watch as your 16th president, our theme is pulling together for UPA. And pulling together, we will, in the next 50 years, and keep the United Pangasinanis of America standing tall and mighty proud. Once again, I congratulate our executive committee, our entire membership, for a truly outstanding and memorable 50th Golden Jubilee. To you, our guests, please give yourself a big round of applause. To our advertisers, media partner, and sponsors, thank you for your continued support of the United Pangasinanis of America. And before I sit down, I would like to show my appreciation to a very, very special person who has supported me in all my community endeavors for over the last 4 decades and continues to do so, especially now for UPA. She's my friend, confidant, and my loving wife of 45 years, Norma Panoringan. Thank you. Thank you. Look at me. Thank you. I am forever grateful. Thank you. Let me close, ladies and gentlemen, by sharing with all of you a quote by a famous poet, writer, and dramatist, Victor Hugo from France. And I quote, "Age brings maturity, and age of 50 is the youth of old age." Unquote. Indeed, ladies and gentlemen, we've just begun creating our future for the next 50 years at our tender youth of old age. Good evening.